Right now, a partisan political battle at the state capitol. A live update on today's special session called to address gun violence.
And how a local sheriff's department is helping people take care of outstanding warrants so they can be home for the holidays. Plus,
with the holidays approaching, what the Salvation Army says it is in desperate need of some help.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Groups from across the state braving the cold today, demanding Republican leaders take action on a pair of special session bills, both specifically addressing gun violence and loopholes.
But as you are about to see a live look at the Senate floor, no action being taken so far. Absolutely nothing. Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald saying he will gavel into session, then immediately out at some point, refusing to even discuss the bills. News 3 Now political reporter Rose Schmidt has been at the Capitol all day today.
And she joins us now with the latest on this partisan showdown. Rose?
Yeah, we still have not seen Senator Fitzgerald in the building tonight. Under Governor Tony Evers' order, lawmakers have to convene for that special session before midnight tonight, but they're still not telling us yet when that will happen. Now, Evers' executive order specifically calls for them to take action on 2 gun control bills. Universal background checks is the first, and the other a red flag law, allowing a judge to temporarily seize guns from someone who poses a threat. But Voss and Fitzgerald say these proposals infringe on Second Amendment rights. Evers saying today he still feels positive, despite Republicans vowing to gavel in and gavel out tonight.
If that's the case, then I'm assuming all Republicans are against it, and then they go home and have to run for re-election when they've essentially defied 80% of the people of Wisconsin. I believe that they're going to actually do something.
So I wish Governor Evers would stop playing politics with this topic, actually sit down and figure out a way to say where are the issues we can work together on. But as he said in his statement to you, it's all about polls and politics, not about policy and progress.
Democrats say it's ironic that Republicans don't support a red flag law when one of the bills the Assembly plans to pass tonight would give grants to gun shop owners if they provide gun owners a place to store firearms if they're not in good mental health. And when we hear more details about this special session tonight, we will sure to keep you updated on Channel3000.com and News 3 Now.
Rose Schmidt live at the Capitol tonight. Rose, thank you.
Also at the Capitol, all 3 veto override attempts in the Assembly failed. Democrats are refusing to go along with the Republicans' effort to rebuff the governor. A 3rd veto gave the Evers administration more flexibility on how to spend $500,000 to increase the number of health care providers. Today's votes mark the first override attempts in the Wisconsin legislature in 9 years, and the last successful override was way back in 1985. Governor Evers is promoting the DADCAP secretary after the Wisconsin Senate fired the agency's head earlier this week. The governor says Randy Romanski, a deputy, will replace Brad Paff after the Senate rejected Paff's confirmation on Tuesday.
The Greene County Sheriff's Office is reminding people to take it slow because of icy roads. Highway crews are out salting, but it takes time to get to every road. You're asked to slow down and plan on extra time to get to where you need to go. Temperatures certainly aren't helping road conditions any. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti with your first alert forecast.
You know, the problem, Charlotte, is as temperatures get colder, the salt becomes a little less effective on melting some of that ice that's out there. So some of the roads may stay slippery overnight. We have snow cover through much of southern and central Wisconsin, about 3 to 6 inches from about Lone Rock westward, about 1 to 3 inches through the rest of southern Wisconsin away from the Illinois state line. And look at the winds. They're coming right off of that snow cover. So look at the effect it's had on temperatures. We're 20 right now in Madison. Temperatures are in the teens already to our north and west, down to 8 right now in Black River Falls, and wind chills are in the single digits to lower teens. By tomorrow morning, we should be down to around 7 degrees. That would be, or 8 degrees. That would be very close to the record low of 7 set back in 1991. Tomorrow will be another unseasonably cold day with a little more cloud cover and a high of 29. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that unfortunately includes more unseasonably cold weather as we head into early next week.
The Iowa County Sheriff is playing Santa this year, but not in the way you're probably thinking.
He's giving people who have warrants out for their arrest the opportunity to clear their names without serving any jail time or paying an additional cash bond. And Jamie Perez tells us about this holiday deal. It's like Black Friday, right? The special deal here?
A little different than that, but there are 500 case numbers for people who have a warrant out for their arrest in Iowa County. The sheriff says if you show up in person to the Iowa County Courthouse on November 27th, they will get your name cleared as quickly as possible. So when you get there, you'll go straight to the district attorney's office and they'll set up a court date so they can close your case. The sheriff said they're doing this to not only help clear their backlog of warrants, but also to make it possible for these people to spend the holidays with their families without worrying about being arrested.
You know, we need you to come in and satisfy that warrant rather than letting that situation go into a time frame where you might be out doing some holiday shopping. All of a sudden you find out you've got a warrant that you haven't satisfied. We'd rather not have those situations happen to people.
This deal does not apply to the people who have a warrant out for felony charges or facing child support. If you're not sure if your name is on there, I have a link on our website right now for that list that you can check to see if your name is there.
All right, Jamie Perez reporting. Jamie, thank you.
Sure.
The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the pedestrian killed in Monday night's vehicle crash on Highway 1218. She is 35-year-old Susan Johnson of Madison. Johnson was found dead at the scene near 1218 and Mill Pond Road. The driver accused of being involved in the crash, Sean Jones, was released on a $500 signature bond yesterday. Additional testing is underway and an investigation is ongoing.
A new exhibit at the Capitol pays tribute to the female veterans of Wisconsin. The governor and the State Department of Military Affairs unveiled the I Am Not Invisible traveling exhibit today in the Capitol Rotunda. It features 32 6-foot-tall banners featuring portraits and the stories of women veterans in Wisconsin. The exhibit will be on display at the Capitol through November 15th. For many of us, the upcoming holidays mean meals with family and friends.
Food pantries in Rock County say in order to make that happen for those in need, they need help from others. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us now. And Adam, this isn't the first time they're putting out the call for help.
No, Eric and Charlotte, the food pantries I talked to today say it's all about giving in order to make sure everyone gets fed this holiday season.
We have some muffins and some cheesecake and a few varied things that were donated.
It's almost lunchtime at the Janesville Salvation Army.
We're going to make some homemade biscuits and gravy.
And cook Cheryl Mavidi is preparing for the crowd of roughly 75 that comes in each day. Although a look in the fridge is all it takes to see what they don't have.
We're kind of bare. We could use some eggs and fresh fruit and produce, all that.
The lack of donations, a major problem for the food pantry next door over the last few months.
For whatever reason, those groceries were down that we were receiving, and we were at risk of having to temporarily close our door.
In other food pantries, like Janesville's Echo, say this is the time of year they really need the help.
You're helping someone get food on their table during a time that's tough right now.
Now, both groups are planning ahead to Thanksgiving, when the Salvation Army plans to feed 500 people, and Echo prepares baskets of food. They say you can help by donating food items or your time. Ultimately, they say it's about giving back to the folks who need it.
Humble people that are coming in for simply a warm meal and a warm place for maybe an hour or an hour and a half. And to think that there's families and children that are out there in Rock County that aren't getting the groceries that they need to put food on their table.
Salvation Army of Janesville says right now one of their biggest needs is whole turkeys. Again, remember, they're trying to feed Thanksgiving dinner to hundreds of people in just a few weeks. They said anyone who's got donations can drop them off right at their main door.
Adam Duxter live in the Rock County Bureau tonight. Adam, thank you. There is more to come tonight at 6, helping kids transition from elementary to middle school.
But first, we have a behind-the-scenes look at a new music video released this week, shot entirely at the House on the Rock. Stay with us. Welcome back. A famous rock band is putting a Wisconsin tourist attraction in the spotlight with the release of a new music video.
That video has only been out for a couple of days now and already has tens of thousands of views. Madeline O'Neill explains from Spring Green.
You may have visited a house on the rock. Now, Rock is visiting the house.
The name of the House on the Rock really doesn't say it all.
Not even close.
Playground for the imagination.
We're getting closer.
It's an attraction like nowhere else in the world. There's no backdrop that you can find anywhere that would even compare to the uniqueness of this venue.
A venue with, yes, a house on the rock, but also 2.5 miles of winding exhibits, including olden day streets, a room that extends into infinity, and the world's largest carousel without a single horse. Plenty of music, too.
All right, ready? It's a long song.
Just no human musicians. Usually.
It was very exciting.
In September, the Raconteurs recorded their newest music video here.
They loved it, and they had a lot of fun with it.
Featuring things that can only be found at a house on the rock.
It is from the late 1800s. I love the song. The song is really catchy.
Longtime employee Nancy Schaff says the band started here in the Infinity Room.
They had Midwestern roots. They are a famous band, yet they were so down to earth. Ben, the director, had been here multiple times and was a huge fan of ours.
This isn't the first time House on the Rock has been in the spotlight. The TV show American Gods recently shot an episode here.
It's always been a well-kept secret. I always felt like a lot of people don't know about House on the Rock. Yeah, the notoriety has been great this last couple years.
As for what draws productions here, perhaps the same thing as everyone else.
Oh, she's good. I think this is a place for the imagination.
The newest music video is just another feature the House on the Rock can add to its eclectic collection.
This is a perfect background for people that want to do something inspirational. I think that video is really inspirational.
In Spring Green.
It rocks.
Madeline O'Neill, News 3 Now.
Jack White is the frontman of the Raconteurs. If you want to see the full music video, we'll have a link on it on our website, channel3000.com.
A holiday tradition 6 decades in the making, coming out early this year at Clausen's Bakery in Middleton. For several hours this morning, staff dressed up this giant gingerbread house. The base is made of plywood and it's covered with gingerbread cookies, icing, and decorations. The owner, Mary Clausen, says it'll be on display until right after Christmas.
Still ahead in sports, how the Badgers are planning a special ceremony to honor assistant coach Howard Moore at tomorrow night's home opener.
And the cold weather will continue to play a factor as we near the weekend. More chances for records to fall. The details in your complete forecast next.
Welcome back. Many parents are getting ready for that first quarter report card.
Studies show transitioning from elementary school to middle school can lead to worse grades. It's something researchers at UW-Madison are trying to prevent, along with attendance issues and behavioral problems at the 6th grade level. They came up with a simple survey asking those tweens about their biggest challenges and best advice, and then sharing those responses with their peers.
I mean, I think that is something that is much more believable to kids and something that doesn't appear as something so preachy and something that they have to do. Rather, this was just simple advice that, look, you know, this is tough for everybody.
That message of belonging and solidarity is one that's emphasized at Toki Middle School. We'll show you how teachers and administrators are doing that and tell you why the UW's research could be an affordable option that helps all 6th graders. That's tonight on News 3 Now at 10.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us now with a look at our forecast.
Boy, it's cold and getting colder. Temperature is already down to about 20 degrees, and it's only 6 o'clock at night, but the snow cover will do that. And because of that, we have alert days in the forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Now, looking for a forecast low temperature of 8 degrees for tonight. The record low temperature is 7, set back in 1991, and our temperatures have actually been a little bit below what I thought they'd be already, so it's possible that record low could be in jeopardy. Tomorrow, look for unseasonably cold weather to continue. The high temperature of 29 will be just above the record low high temperature of 25, set back in 1925. And then more unseasonably cold weather arrives next week. Expect near record low temperatures from Monday morning, Tuesday morning, possibly even Wednesday morning, although that one's a little bit safer, and a high temperature of 22 on Monday and a high of 20 on Tuesday. Probably would set or could be very close to records for the lowest high temperature for the date. Those temperatures will be averaging a good 20 to 25 degrees below average. Take a look where our temperatures will go over the next 12 hours. We're at 20 right now, 18 next hour, and then you can see by 6 a.m. we're down to 8 degrees. But even a drop a little bit more than that, we could certainly be looking at a record low by tomorrow morning. So near record cold temperatures overnight and tomorrow. There'll be a brief warm up on Saturday. Then colder weather arrives on Sunday with falling afternoon temperatures. And the last of your 3 things to know, near record cold possible again from Monday, Tuesday, and possibly Wednesday of next week. Look at the high temperature trend. Average high temperature goes from 48 to 43. We're not looking at high temperatures even to 40 degrees over the next 10 days, and several days those temperatures staying in the 20s, including a only 20-degree high temperature on Tuesday. That's between about 25 and 30 degrees below average. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. A pretty picture tonight. The Capitol's all lit up, but it is cold. Our high temperature of 25 degrees, 24 degrees below the average high of 49. Our low temperature this morning was 13, but we're going to be below that by tomorrow morning. 20 is the current temperature. Winds out of the west-northwest at 5, strong enough to give us a wind chill this hour. That's at 13 degrees. Temperatures already in the teens through much of northern and central Wisconsin. Just to our north and west, temperatures are in the teens over our viewing area. But with the upper level flow continuing right out of Canada, right into the northern part of the United States, at least it keeps the active storm track to the south. So there's rain and some snow on the northern edge of this precipitation area. That will keep it away from us for the time being, but still that northwesterly wind flow just continuing to funnel down cold air. The center of the high pressure system responsible for the cold air just out to the west of us. So the winds will lighten up a little bit tonight. That's probably about the best news I can tell you, that we probably won't have much of a wind chill, but still unseasonably cold weather through much of the upper Midwest. And on future track, you can see the clearing for tonight, and then tomorrow maybe a little more cloud cover as slightly milder weather starts to develop out to the west. Winds become a little more southerly. Most of the snow from that system stays to the north, and then on Saturday, south to southwesterly winds continue with temperatures up close to 40 before that wind shift back to the northwest arrives on Sunday with the next cold front. So our forecast overnight, look for a low of 8 degrees just above the record low of 7, be unseasonably cold, and then for tomorrow a high of 29 with variably cloudy skies, so a little more cloud cover than today. Future track, very quiet overnight. Temperatures dropping into the upper single digits by morning. High temperatures tomorrow, upper 20s. Not looking for any precipitation tomorrow. Maybe a few flurries tomorrow night as temperatures drop into the low 20s and then rise to the upper 20s overnight. And then on Saturday, high temperatures will be in the upper 30s. But the 7 to 10 day forecast calls for falling temperatures on Sunday after a morning high of 34, and then very cold weather from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Back to the 30s by the end of the week. Maybe a quick warm up on Saturday, another shot of cold air by Sunday.
It's a big day for state high school tournaments, and the Badgers hope to keep some trends going when they face Iowa Saturday at Camp Randall. Stories coming up in sports. It's another week of state high school tournaments. We start in Milwaukee, where the WIAA State Boys Soccer Tournament begins at Eline Field. McFarland is playing Rice Lake in a Division III semifinal right now. Ethan Nichols had a great season for the Spartans, and he had a great first half. Nichols scores 2 goals. That gives him 18 in the season. McFarland is the #1 seed in Division III, and they are looking like it. It's in the second half late. 6-0 McFarland. Zach Nichols has a couple of goals for the Spartans, too. The second Division III semifinal after this one is Shorewood against Seymour. In Division IV earlier today, the Prairie School beat Lake Mills 8-0. The state girls and boys volleyball tournaments are at the same location for the first time. They're playing at the Resch Center near Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Sun Prairie faces Arrowhead in the Division I girls quarterfinals at 7 o'clock tonight. In the last 5 seasons, the Badger football team has a record of 17-3 in games played in November. And they hope that trend continues Saturday, November 7th, when the Iowa Hawkeyes are at Camp Randall for a 3 o'clock kickoff. Menominee, Wisconsin's Nate Stanley is Iowa's quarterback, and he hopes the Hawkeyes can find a way to crack the Wisconsin defense, which is still ranked #1 in the defense in total defense in the nation. Wisconsin has won 6 of the last 7 meetings with Iowa.
Anytime you play Iowa, it's a big game. And you got 2 teams, 6-2, 2 really good defenses, and I think 2 good offenses. And then so many in this, series, you go back and look at it, it's something's going to happen on special teams, and so it's going to take everyone. And you look back at the games I've been a part of, and it comes down to good football, and good football gives you a chance to win. And so obviously, that's the focus.
The Badger men's basketball team has its home opener against Eastern Illinois tomorrow night at 7. Eastern Illinois has a couple of familiar names on the roster. Former Madison East star Dang Dang and Memorial's Sharif Smith play for the Panthers. They'll also have a special ceremony at 6:45 tomorrow night to honor assistant coach Howard Moore. Moore and his family continue to recover from their tragic car accident last summer. As for the Badgers, they put up a pretty good battle against 20th-ranked St. Mary's, but lost their season opener in Sioux Falls the other night, 65-63 in overtime. Now they'll look for improvement in Game 2 tomorrow night.
We guys definitely have things that we can still clean up and fix, and again, all things that we can control. We don't need anyone to jump higher or run faster. It's just little things that we can control. So we have a lot of pieces of the puzzle. We just got to put them all together.
I think that it's going to be good for us to come out here and compete against a pretty good Eastern Illinois team, and I think that just getting out here in front of our home base and our home crowd, I think will be good for us.
And the Bucks won last night 129-124 against the Clippers in Los Angeles. Giannis Antetokounmpo is working on a second straight MVP season. He had 38 points, 16 rebounds, 9 assists last night. He hit 4 3-point shots on top of that. Giannis, by the way, the first player in NBA history to get 200 points, 100 rebounds, and 50 assists in the first 8 games of an NBA season. He's a freak.
Such a slacker.
Yeah, the only one ever.
Good start to the season. Yeah. Rough start to the season for us weather-wise, Gary.
Yeah, hopefully our winter doesn't continue on like this, because we're already getting a taste of it in mid-fall. These are current temperatures. 20 in Madison, already in the teens to our north and west. Black River Falls are down to 6 degrees, and it's only 6 o'clock in the evening. Wind chills right now, single digits to the lower teens. The winds will lighten up overnight, so wind chills probably not too much of a factor, but a low of 8 by tomorrow morning, be close to the record low of 7. Then a high of 29 tomorrow. Brief warm-up Saturday. It's falling temperatures from that morning high of 34 on Sunday. And then unseasonably cold with near-record cold temperatures Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then a little moderation in temperatures by the end of next week, but that still brings us about 10 degrees below normal.
Yeah, it's got to end at some point, right? And hopefully it's not April or May.
I was going to say April or May would be for sure.
Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us.
Enjoy your evening. We'll see you back here at 10.